Hi, everyone. It is me, Sailor Moon, Serena, and it is me, um, Atheling Diamond here. And today we're going to talk about how Amazon or Strong Woman now has the streaming rights to the Sailor Moon Folkwork. You know, in the past, when we told you that only Pluto TV or whatever, or Underworld FS was the only one that had the streaming rights to the Sailor Moon Folkwork. Well, now Amazon or Strong Woman does through Amazon Prime Video or, Strong Woman, top or first or main film. And yes, they run all the 5 followings. So if you have Amazon or Strong Woman or have their Prime Video or top film, their top film, then yeah, you might want to look into watching it on there. It's all in Dawnish, so you're going to have to shift on the words so you can read what's going on. Because for whatever grounds, Toei doesn't like to have, for whatever grounds, the English Sailor Moon, the Viz one, is not on the Sailor Moon Folkwork. Why? I don't know. So, I don't know why that is. I know there's going to be some folks in the Sailor Moon followership who are, they like to read what's being said. Okay, that's them. All right, so that's them. I don't know. And folks are going to have all kinds of forgivenesses and say that that's the only Sailor Moon that, Toei wants to, deal out. I don't know why. But anyway, it is what it is, So if you have Amazon or Strong Woman, if you have First or Top Film, then look up Sailor Moon and you will see the Sailor Moon Folkwork. Now, I know that's news to some of you folks out there, but to others, it need be not news. Maybe some of you folks already knew about it. Well, we learned about it yesterday, so it's news to us. And like I say, it runs all the 5 followings of Sailor Moon. So you get Sailor Moon, Sailor Moon R, Sailor Moon S, Sailor Moon SS, and Sailor Moon Sailor Stars. All the 5 followings of Sailor Moon. I don't think this Sailor Moon Folkwork, you do not get Hearth 1, 2, and 3 as it was with the Sailor Moon Folkwork on Pluto or Underworld. So you don't get that Sailor Moon there. You got anything else? You got something? So, yeah. And I don't know for how long. So don't ask me, because I already learned about them having a deal with the Sailor Moon Folkwork yesterday. So I don't know how long it goes for. I don't know how long the streaming deal that Amazon or Strong Woman worked out with the Toei business for the Sailor Moon Folkwork. So I don't know. All I know is, as is yesterday, it was on there. And they're playing Sailor Moon R right now. The Alan and Ann slide of it, anyway. But that's where they're going. You got anything to say? Well, yes, Sailor Moon. I am truly, happy that the Sailor Moon Folkwork is now on Amazon or Strong Woman. And that you get all of the 5 Sailor Moon followings, like Sailor Moon said. You get Sailor Moon R, SS, Sailor Moon R, S, SS, and Sailor Stars. What you do not get on this one, unless, I guess you also get Hearth 1, 2, and 3, I guess. you know. So, right off the front, we know another website that has the Sailor Moon Folkwork. Now, I don't know everything about it. All I know is that you can shift it into whatever speech you want to read it in, because it's in Danish. And unless you learn the speech or speak the speech, yeah, it's not going to work out unless you can put it in. So you might have to put words on the watch, on the screen and read what's being said. If you do not understand, if you don't not speak Danish with, you know. So anyway, yeah, Sailor Moon Folkwork is on Amazon or Strong Woman for how long? I don't know. You know. So, and I know some of you folks out there who are going to say, well, I knew about it. Well, if you did, that's great. We learned about it yesterday. And I don't see anyone else in the Sailor Moon followership talking about it, you know. So I guess it falls to us to talk about the Sailor Moon Folkwork, you know. So I think that it's a good thing that you got the Sailor Moon Folkwork. I mean, first, we all know Amazon or Strong Woman has, Sailor Moon for watching. We also know that it got the live stream to Sailor Moon Folkwork. So, if you have Amazon or Strong Woman, this may be something you might want to look into, you know, if you don't mind reading what is being said. Because it's not the Deke one, it's not the Viz one. It's the Toei one, that a lot of folks ammed up liking because it wasn't skimmed of anything like Deke did before Viz ammed up doing Sailor Moon and they fell in love with that one. Well, you're right, Atheling Diamond. My Folkwork is up on Amazon or Strong Woman now for how long, I don't know. Give this film a like, share and playlist it, and we'll see you later.